Okay, let's dig deeper into this problem. So let me be honest. If you know all of the words in a higher level sentence equivalence question, that is awesome. There is certainly no substitute for knowing all the vocabulary words you encounter, so practicing vocabulary really should be a part of your GRE study plan. But that doesn't mean you aren't going to encounter words you don't know on test day. So let's get what happens when we have a sentence equivalence with higher level vocabulary. Here is our old friend, that question you tried. And in this sentence, we have entreaties, we have implacable, we have meting, we have arbitrary. These aren't necessarily the most uncommon words in the world, but they're certainly not words that show up all that often in everyday English. So these are distractors. They're meant to freak us out. They are meant to make us feel like this question is going to pose quite a challenge for us. But one of the things we can do is to focus on the easier parts of the sentence. So let's do that. We've got ignoring the crowd, we've got the judge, and we got this punishment associated with the judge that was harsh. So we can put together that the judge is ignoring the crowd and deciding to punish someone harshly anyway. And now we need to think about, well, what's a word that would work for the blank? And if the judge is being harsh and ignoring the crowd, then the crowd is probably asking the judge to not be too harsh. And with that, we dive into our answer choices. First up, we have justice. And justice really could work here, but it's just our first word, and remember we need a pair of synonyms. So don't fall in love with the first word in a list. Hang on to it as a maybe. Next up, we have mercy. Mercy absolutely fits the context since it's the opposite of a harsh punishment. So mercy, we're going to hang on to that as well, but we should not just be going with justice and mercy just yet because we have 4 other words. Up next, we have clemency. Clemency means mercy. It means forgiveness. Those 3 are in contention. Then we have appeasement. Appeasement is when you make someone who is upset about something feel better. It doesn't make sense in this context, especially because it's clear that the judge cannot be appeased and the crowd is not going to be appeased because the judge is being harsh. That doesn't work. It's the opposite of what we're looking for. Condemnation, that is to sternly judge someone for their actions. So yeah, the crowd is not asking for condemnation. They don't want the judge to be harsh. And then partiality, that's having a bias, which really doesn't fit the context of the sentence. That's gone. So we need to take a look at those 3 answer choices we have. We know the goal is to create equivalent sentences. So we need a pair of words that would create a sentence with the exact same meaning. If we plug mercy and clemency into this sentence, we would create equivalent sentences. So those are the correct answer choices. So what's up with justice? Let's take a closer look at this one. Justice works okay on its own, but we know it's out. And justice is out because it is what you can think of as a lone wolf trap. As in, it works okay on its own, no problem, but it doesn't have a buddy. There isn't another word in the list that would create a sentence that was equivalent to the sentence that justice creates. Now, if we had a word like fairness, then justice would actually work here, but we don't have another word that means fairness. Mercy and clemency both indicate giving someone a lighter punishment. Justice means giving someone a fair punishment. Mercy and clemency are closer, meaning justice is the lone wolf trap. In summary, when you encounter a higher level sentence equivalence question and you don't know all the words in the sentence, try to focus on the easier words in a sentence. Use whatever context clues you can to come up with your own word, then compare the answer choices to your predicted word and start eliminating. And of course, especially on these higher level questions, beware of common traps. Distractors like higher level vocabulary, false pairs of synonyms in the answer choices, which we did not see here, but we did see the last one, the lone wolf. A word that works on its own, but is all by itself without another word in the list to create an equivalent sentence.